Welcome to AHA, a human among humans. And do we have a human for you today? Sally Ray Rogers is going to entertain us with extraordinarily enjoyable song.
I hope so. So, my first song has to do with something that's very dear to me. My bra. My bra back home, I'd almost forgot. A soft cup bra, I liked it a lot. No wires to cut, both shoulders were able. And when I was young and feeling able, I'd suck in my gut and reach above the table. How far away my breaths are today, how far are they? Bally bra, bally bra, bally bra, bally bra, I'm calling, bally bra, I'm calling. Come to me, bally bra, bally bra, bally bra. Thank you. It's good when you have something that fits just right.
What moved you to write this, sing this?
Well, I remember when my mother took me to get my first bra. And she said, don't go by what the sales girls tell you. Find what is most comfortable for you. And I did. It was the Sky Bally 3500. I mean, guys know models of Ferraris. I know the model of my bra.
Wow.
That's more important. I don't wear a car. I wear a bra. and I always stayed with it. Through all my size changes, I stayed with the Sky Bally 3500. But they stopped making my bra, and so I sing that song, hoping for a return of my Sky Bally.
Oh, could you get it on Craigslist?
Well, they stopped making it in 1998, and I bought 20 of them then. So I don't think I can get any more now.
Oh, but you still have them.
I still have a few. In fact, to be honest, I'm wearing one now.
Well, we won't ask for proof, but you have other songs for us.
Yes. And I wanted to ask you, Mikey, do you believe in reincarnation?
Yes, I do.
Well, I think there is something to that, because we don't come as blank slates. We have so much in us. We're all unique. We definitely breathe the same air, but in so many ways we really are unique. Maybe more unique than we realize. And one thing I used to do when I was very young was I used to use some made-up words for things. And one of them was the word kittle. Instead of tickle or tickling, I'd say, I'm going to kittle you. I love kittling. And I loved to kittle. And then one day, when I was a freshman at Boston University, my mother called me up and she said, you're not going to believe this. I was watching Johnny Carson and a man came on with an archaic Scottish dictionary, and just at random, he looked up one word in the dictionary, and it was kittle, which was the archaic Scottish word for tickle. I couldn't believe it. And my mother said, isn't that a funny coincidence that you made up the same word? And I had to really think about that. And I looked in the dictionary at BU. I found it and I was amazed. But what's really amazing is that that man looked up one word in the whole dictionary. He could have looked up another word on the same page and I never would have known, and I never would have heard about it. So I felt like something was reaching out to me. feel like we all have that. People say angels or spirit guides, and I don't know. But I think that we have to look for love, because I know that when I look for evil, it is easy to find evil, but it takes me the wrong way. And when I look for light, it's like, yes, I need that. So anyway, I go off on different tangents, but they're all really important. So I made up a Scottish poem a few years ago. I was looking for a Scottish poem on the internet, and I couldn't find what I wanted, so I made it up. And I'd like to say it. And I feel like maybe I'm channeling, maybe I really wrote this poem 300 years ago in Scotland. And I don't know if I was a man or a woman, but I know I was wearing a skirt. And here's the poem. Have you heard of twin babes born under the cabbage? One's named Ravish, the other named Ravage. Alike in appearance, quite pleasing they be, but not at all like in philosophy. Perhaps half the cabbage had got too much sun, while the other half was spotted and run with ugly old whams, things you would not want to see, round beautiful babes born near the sea. As they grew, their beauty was sung far and wide. Many men seek for the cabins they hide. Abiding in wood, one pine tree divides. Ravish on the rocky side, Ravage nearer the sea. Which one will ye go to? Which one will it be? Oh, you wanted to know why one twin's called Ravage? She cooks men up, eats them right after cabbage. But Ravish will love you endlessly, kissing you until sated ye be. Men yearn oft for her beauty, and yet once up the path to Ravage, ne'er their story will you get. So men, if you seek for a cabin near the sea, if a beautiful woman calls out to ye, flee till there's rocks under your feet. Don't stay where the ground is too soft and sweet, or you might end up with ravenous Ravage. She'll have you for dinner right after her cabbage. Well, I once met the nanny of Ravish and Ravage. She wheeled them around in a great baby carriage. Ravish was sweet as a new babe born could be, teething away on ravioli, while Ravage was drooling on dried up old cabbage, biting right down on all she could savage. And that's the grand story of Ravish and Ravage. Perhaps you'll think twice when your thoughts turn to marriage.
Wow! Help us, O Lord.
So that was my channeling.
So is this true of many people? This is the two sides of us?
Yes, yes.
So how
I can't speak for everybody, but I think we all have both light and darkness.
Yes, so how can we make sure that we don't get stuck with the Ravage part?
Well, I see this whole world as many ways. Sometimes I've thought the whole world was a mental hospital, but it's also kind of like a railway station where you have the chance to go in the right direction. You can make changes while you're here. So we have to strive for the light in the best way we can, whether it's what people call God, or a higher energy, or
and escape from Ravage, escape and be ravished.
Escape from the Ravage in ourselves, or on the outside too.
Both. Nice, yes. And you have more for us, yes?
Well, just today I was thinking of something that I haven't told for a long, long time. But I heard about it. I heard about some people who were good, but they weren't quite good enough to get into heaven. But they were good enough to get a 10-year warning that they were going to hell. And in the 10-year warning, they also had the power given to them to do anything they wanted for 10 years. But they knew that after the 10 years, they would go to hell.
Forever? Or just for a visit?
Anyway,
yeah.
So what happened was...
Oh, but there was no hope that they could do something in those 10 years to avoid?
No, they would definitely go to hell.
No!
Definitely go to hell.
This is hard.
Definitely go to hell in 10 years. You've done enough good deeds to get a 10-year warning and to do whatever you want for 10 years, but after 10 years is up, you're definitely going to hell.
I don't like this setup at all.
Well, let me tell you,
yes,
it's
okay.
not... So, you know, some people, they just took a lot of drugs for 10 years. And some people just went out for Chinese food every night for 10 years, which is very sad, but, you know, it's been done. But there was this one storyteller. She was a little strange. And she said, wait a minute, I'm going to be going to hell forever, for all eternity, in 10 years? And they said yes. The devil said yes. And she said, well, if I'm going to go to hell, I want you, and I can have anything I want for 10 years, I want you to show me right now, take me to that place in hell where I'm going to go in 10 years, right now. Show me, show me. So they took her to the spot and they showed her, and she said, okay, I can have anything I want. What I want you to do is I want you to clear away all the garbage and things that I don't like here in the spot where I'm going to be. And I want you to build a palace for me. And in that palace, I want to have 3 vents that are going to go up to heaven. The first vent is just to bring the whole atmosphere of heaven into my palace in hell, so that the whole palace will be filled with the environment, the atmosphere of heaven. And then the second vent is not exactly a vent, it's a tunnel. And that's so my friends who made it to heaven, they can come and visit me when they want, you know, if they want to visit. But the third vent is just to be filled with my longing and my request for the Lord himself to come and visit me in my home in hell. And just filled with that longing. And so they worked for 10 years and they made this palace for the storyteller. And when the 10 years went up, she went to hell and she was very happy there. And that's the end of that.
That's the end of the story.
Yeah, she went there and she lived in the palace that had the environment of heaven and everything from heaven that she could want.
So why was it hell?
Well, that's the motto, that hell becomes heaven. That it was no longer hell. They couldn't even call it hell anymore. It was the address where hell used to be.
Wow, I like that.
Hell used to be,
I like
but
that.
it became heaven, totally.
If you're in hell, everybody, turn it to heaven. One woman, I think philosopher, said hell is also an interesting place to visit.
I see.
Because you've been, you understand, yes? You visited,
Yeah.
and you've come back to tell us this tale.
Absolutely. Yes. I feel like, yeah. It's something where we always have that choice of where we are. But sometimes, you know, it takes a lot. So I wanted to sing an original Hanukkah song I wrote. Also, kind of the same thing where I was searching for a Hanukkah song.
And this is one of the rare events where we get Hanukkah sung about before Thanksgiving.
Well, but it's coming soon.
When is Hanukkah?
I think it's December 8th.
Oh, yes.
I think it's December 8th. But the song is about more than Hanukkah. because it's just written from my heart.
Oh, you wrote a Hanukkah song?
I wrote this because
Yes.
I was hired to perform at a temple, and I wanted to do a Hanukkah song, and I couldn't find a Hanukkah song. I certainly wasn't going to sing dreidel, dreidel, dreidel.
Yes.
So, and Adam Sandler hadn't made up his song yet, and I didn't want to, so I made up a song. And I'd love to sing it.
Yes, go for
Okay.
it. Yes.
Light is unlimited. It means we'll never part. Even if you travel far, you'll never leave my heart. When we light the candles, unlimited we see, a flame which is endless inside you and me. Candles on the outside remind us of the power kept the lamp burning far beyond an hour. Breath follows breath, night follows day. There is a power takes all darkness away. The miracle of Hanukkah we recall in this hour, but through our entire lives is God's mighty power. Breath follows breath, night follows day. God is the power, takes all darkness away. Light is unlimited, it means we'll never part. Even if you travel far, you'll never leave my heart. Even if we are apart, you're deep within my heart. Thank you.
So you believe you? So how did you learn to sing?
How did I learn to sing? Well, that's amazing. I mean, my mother said I used to chirp like a bird in the crib. And she said I started talking. She says she swears I was younger than 8 months. She says 8 months. She said 8 months, but then she said, I really think you were younger than 8 months old. And my first words were, it's kind of funny, my first words were a complete sentence, which is kind of the way I do things. I like do nothing and sit around, and then, well, that's the way I walk too. I never walked till I was 2.5 years old, and then one day I stood up, walked across the room, picked up a shoe, and that was it. But I digress.
So you were telling me about how you learned to sing.
Oh yes. So my mother just said I used to chirp like a bird. I just loved to make sounds. I always enjoyed singing. I just loved it. I just loved singing. And I don't know that I learned.
So you never learned? You just were singing?
Well, I just always enjoyed singing.
You never took lessons?
Not really. Once I took lessons for 2 months in the summer as an adult. And the woman I took lessons from was married to someone who was kind of famous. He wrote the song Sunny that was popular in the 60s. It was a #1 song. Sunny, yesterday my life was filled with rain. Anyway, I was singing Amazing Grace and he walked in the room and said, she's got it, she's got it. But that was the extent of my singing lessons. I didn't really have any singing lessons. I love to sing. I just love to sing. And I have one of my songs for children, which I feel I'd like to sing. It's very short, and it's just about the changes we go through. And it's, I'm always me, but I'm always different. Sometimes I feel so strange. Don't know what's going on with my life and why things rearrange. Sometimes I understand myself and everything's so clear. Then people treat me differently and I want to disappear. 'Cause I'm always me, but I'm always different. Sometimes I feel so strange. Don't know what's going on with my life and why things rearrange.
And by rearrange, thank you. And by rearrange, you mean?
Well, see, I have been told that English is a hard word to rhyme in. I never had a problem. But if things are strange and then they change, they rearrange. Because I don't know what else would say. So, you know, it just kind of, you know, it comes with meaning and rhyme. And they both have to work together.
Well, those are very nice songs. And you like me, you don't play an instrument, right? I love to sing.
Not really.
And you weren't ever moved to accompany yourself.
Well, you have to be coordinated.
Yes. Yes.
My coordination comes from my heart, but
that's a beautiful sentiment.
Not always.
May that be true for all of us. May our coordination come from our heart.
So, let's see. Well, would you like to hear the beginning of one of my children's stories?
And are there other choices? We only have 4.5 minutes.
Oh, wow, 4.5 minutes.
Yes.
Wow. Well, I love to do children's storytelling, and I guess there definitely isn't time to tell the story, but all my stories are original, and they have singing in them, and it's interactive, and
you can begin one,
okay.
and people will, if they want more, they'll let us know.
Okay. Well, the thing about this little boy was he tried so hard to be good, but he had one problem. He had a very loud voice. And the thing is because of his loud voice, he went through so much, which included he was banished to a forest. But right before he was banished to the forest, his mother said, oh, and let me say what you might not realize is because his voice was so loud, his mother had named him Little Earache. And his mother said, Little Earache, please don't go. Little Earache, please don't go. If you have to go, I'll miss you so. Little Earache, please don't go. Don't go. Don't go. And he went through a lot of adventures and learning. And what's so amazing was he found out that the thing that was his worst problem became his greatest asset, because he was hated for his loud voice, and yet later on he saves the lives of all the creatures in the forest with his loud voice. And after he does that, he learns how to even talk in a normal, soft tone. Because now that he got to do what he really wanted to do without holding back, he could do anything. And it's a wonderful expression for me, and I hope you enjoy it.
Yes, I like it a lot. So how did he, we still have a tiny bit of time, 1.5 minutes, how did he save all the beings in the forest?
Well, I hate to ruin the story, but he lives with the creatures in the forest, and then a monster is coming. And by the sound of his voice, Little Earache transforms this horrible monster. He changes his very DNA and changes the monster into chocolate pudding.
Well.
And then Little Earache realizes he can transform rocks, and it just so happens the rocks are diamonds and rubies and emeralds that nobody knew about in the mountain. And he makes a whole house and toys for his friends just by the sound of his voice. He transforms matter into toys and houses for his friends and himself.
What an inspiration to learn how to sing well.
Yes. Thank you.
Well, you have 28 seconds to say goodbye to the audience.
I want to say, I hope you enjoyed this.
Can they get more information
I
about you?
would love to hear from people. My email is songinside@earthlink.net. But I have a website, storycreation.com. So if you go to storycreation.com, you can hear some samples of my work, and you can send me a message, and I'd love to hear from you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Wow.